You know, almost everything we do in our modern lives, from how we manage our money to how we get our food, it all runs on this totally invisible system. A huge network of technology that's just humming along, way up over our heads. So today, we're going to peel back the layers on that orbital infrastructure.
So I want to start by asking you a question, and I mean you specifically. How many times did you use space today? Just today, maybe before you even had breakfast. Go on, take a guess.
If you're thinking zero, or maybe one or two things, I can almost guarantee you the real answer is way higher than you think. Our connection to what's going on in orbit is so much more constant and, honestly, fundamental than most of us ever stop to consider.
And that gets us right into our first section here, what I like to call our daily digital autopilot. You know, all those familiar, everyday things we do that feel like they're happening right here on the ground, but are actually anything but.
Just think about your morning. Did you check a weather app on your phone to see what to wear? Use Google Maps or Waze to get around some traffic? Maybe you paid for that morning coffee just by tapping your phone. Or you streamed a playlist on your way to work. Or even just check the tracking on a package you're waiting for. I mean, these feel like simple, totally normal Earth-based tasks, right?
Well, here's the twist. Every single one of those things, every one, plugged you directly into a network of satellites orbiting at least 400 miles above the Earth. Yep. You were using space before you even finished your first cup of coffee. So what does this whole network actually look like? Okay, let's zoom out for a second and really get a sense of the scale and the structure of this invisible grid that's pretty much powering our entire planet.
And the scale is it's kind of mind-blowing. We're not talking about a couple dozen satellites here. Right now, there are over 9,000 active satellites orbiting our planet. 9,000. That's an incredible amount of hardware just circling over our heads 24/7.
And they aren't all just bunched up together. See, different jobs need different altitudes. The satellites in low Earth orbit, what we call LEO, they're pretty close to us. That's perfect for stuff like Starlink's high-speed internet. Then you go a bit higher, into medium Earth orbit, or MEO, and that's the real sweet spot for that GPS network that tells your map app where you are. And then way up there in geostationary orbit, those satellites actually move at the exact same speed the Earth turns, which makes them perfect for things like weather tracking and TV broadcasts.
So how does it actually work? I mean, really. Let's just take GPS. The moment you open a map on your phone, your device basically shouts out, "Hey, where am I?" It then listens for a reply from at least 4 different satellites, and by measuring the teensy tiny differences in how long each of those signals takes to arrive, it can triangulate your exact spot on the globe with crazy accuracy. It's a perfect example of how this super complex system in orbit makes something in our daily lives feel so simple.
Okay, so we get how it works now. But that really opens up a much bigger question. How much do we actually rely on all this? And it turns out we've quietly built this massive and maybe kind of fragile dependence on it all. I mean, this is an infrastructure that's vulnerable to everything from solar flares to tiny bits of space junk.
Just look at what these thousands of satellites are actually for. A whopping 65% of them are for communications. That's your internet, your phone, all your data. Another 20% are for Earth observation, which sounds fancy, but it means everything from your daily weather forecast to helping farmers manage their crops. The big takeaway here is that the vast majority of this stuff isn't for some niche science experiment. It's woven directly into the fabric of our everyday lives. And, this quote really just nails it. We have created a planetary-scale dependence on a technological infrastructure that is largely invisible and taken for granted. We've built our entire modern world on top of this tech, but because we can't see it, we almost never think about it. It's like the ultimate utility, completely essential, but we just assume it'll always be there.
So, for this last part, let's bring it all back down to Earth. What has this massive technological shift actually changed about our daily lives? What does it really mean to be living under the satellites? When you put it side by side, the change is it's huge. Think about it. It wasn't that long ago, say in 1990, you'd navigate with a giant paper map that you could never fold correctly. You paid for most things with cash. You had to wait for the 6 o'clock news to find out tomorrow's weather. Today, your GPS gives you real-time traffic updates. You pay with the tap of your phone. And a severe weather alert hits your screen the second it's issued. This isn't just a small upgrade. It's a fundamentally different way of living and interacting with the world around us.
So, if there's one thing to take away from all this, it's this. Our whole modern world, our society, our economy, our day-to-day routines, is built on an invisible foundation floating silently in the vacuum of space. It's the hidden architecture of our lives.
Which really leaves us with one last pretty critical question. We have engineered a complete and total dependence on this system for our world to work the way it does. But do we, as a society, really understand it? Do we get how important it is, how complex it is, and how vulnerable it might be? It's definitely something to think about the next time you pull up a map on your phone.
If you're interested in science, subscribe now to be part of this family and be the first to know about exclusive tips.